All right, welcome back to the podcast, episode 194. Jenny, have you been keeping up with the wild ride that is the AI space lately? It's just relentless, isn't it?
Mark, it's moving so fast. One minute I think I have a handle on things, the next there's a big announcement. And speaking of big announcements, this Groq news about Llama 4, it's definitely got people buzzing. I mean, everyone's talking about it.
Oh man, it does. So Groq, the company with the, let's just say, Chime's name, has launched Meta's Llama 4 models, Scout and Maverick, on their GroqCloud platform. But here's the thing that really caught my eye, the part that made me do a double take. They're talking day zero access and lowest cost per token in the industry. That's a bold claim, right?
Day zero access? That sounds pretty significant. Like, you don't have to wait around for ages and ages to get your hands on these models? That's a big deal for developers who want to build with the latest tech, isn't it?
Precisely. Think about it. Usually when a major model like Llama 4 comes out, it can take time for it to be widely available on cloud platforms. And even then, you might need to do a bunch of tweaking and optimization to get it running right. Groq is basically saying, here it is, ready to go, today. It's like getting the newest iPhone on launch day, instantly useful.
Okay, that's compelling, I'll give you that. But how are they able to do that and at such a low cost? What's their secret sauce? Is it just magic?
This is the fun part. It comes down to their hardware. They don't use traditional GPUs like, well, pretty much everyone else. They have something called an LPU, a language processing unit. It's a custom-built chip specifically designed for running AI models, especially the transformer models like Llama. Think of it like a specialized sports car built for one specific type of race compared to a general-purpose truck.
An LPU? Okay, let me get this straight. Like a specialized chip just for AI language models? That's kind of niche, right?
Exactly. And because it's purpose-built, it has some key advantages. One big one is deterministic latency. That means the time it takes for the chip to process each token, which is essentially a piece of text, is really predictable, usually less than 20 milliseconds. With GPU clusters, that latency can vary a lot, which can be a headache for real-time applications.
Predictable speed. So you know exactly how fast your AI application will respond? That sounds incredibly important for things like chatbots or anything where you need a really quick back and forth.
Hugely important. Imagine a customer service chatbot that sometimes takes seconds to respond. That's a poor user experience. And that deterministic nature, combined with their hardware-software co-design, where the chip and the software running on it are kind of built together in mind, the ground up, allows for that instant deployment. No need for weeks or even months of tuning and optimization engineering like you might need with more general-purpose hardware.
So they built the whole stack. The chip, the software, the cloud platform, all integrated from the ground up. That really seems like a smart way to reduce friction and complexity for developers.
It really is. And that vertical integration is a big part of how they can offer these low prices. Their entry-tier model, Llama 4 Scout, comes in at a blended token rate of 13 cents per million tokens. Now for comparison, I was looking at some estimates for AWS Inferentia 2, which is another chip designed for inference, and it looks like an equivalent rate can be significantly higher. We're talking a pretty substantial difference per million tokens. It's like buying in bulk at a warehouse store versus paying retail.
Wow. That's a pretty massive potential cost saving. If you're running an application that processes millions or even billions of tokens daily, which many do or will, that adds up incredibly quickly. It feels like this could really open up advanced AI access to a lot more people and smaller companies who couldn't afford it before.
Precisely. Jonathan Ross, Groq's CEO, has talked about driving the cost of compute towards zero, and this pricing seems to be a big step in that direction. It lowers the barrier to entry for startups, researchers, even individual developers who want to experiment with these powerful models without needing to take out a second mortgage.
And it's not just about text, right? The Llama 4 Maverick model on GroqCloud also supports multimodal workloads. What does that even mean in practice? Multimodal?
Multimodal. That means it can process and understand different types of data at the same time. In this case, it's vision and text, so you could give it an image and a text prompt. And it can work with both natively. Think about applications where you need to analyze images alongside descriptions, like creating detailed SEO markup for product photos automatically, or understanding complex social media posts that include both pictures and text and nuances.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Generative AI is becoming increasingly visual and increasingly integrated, so having a platform that's built to handle that kind of combined data right from the start is a pretty big advantage.
Completely. And with Llama 4 Maverick supporting 12 languages, including Arabic, there's a lot of potential for global applications and reaching a wider audience. Speaking of global, I saw that Groq is also expanding into regions like Saudi Arabia.
That's interesting. It really shows that the demand for accessible, low-cost AI compute isn't limited to just a few places. It's global. It could certainly help foster AI development and innovation in regions that might have faced higher infrastructure costs previously, evening the playing field a bit.
One thing that always comes up when we talk about lowering the cost of powerful AI and making it more accessible is the ethical and societal impact. On the one hand, it democratizes access, which is great for innovation. Access to affordable compute can spark innovation in smaller companies and research groups that otherwise couldn't compete.
Right. The research we looked at mentioned an estimated 142% year-over-year increase in AI incubator projects due to lower costs. That's significant for sparking new ideas and getting things off the ground. But on the other hand, making AI this powerful and affordable also raises concerns, like what about potential job displacement in industries that rely on certain tasks that AI can now do cheaper and faster? That's a serious conversation we need to have.
That's a definite consideration, and a complex one. It's not just about jobs being replaced, but how roles might shift and what sort of reskilling is needed. And we also need to think about the environmental impact. More accessible AI compute could mean more compute being used overall. While I haven't seen a lot of detailed data on Groq's specific environmental footprint or energy efficiency compared to traditional setups, it's a conversation the whole industry absolutely needs to be having. How do we do this sustainably?
Definitely. The sustainability of AI is going to be an increasingly important topic and something we'll likely return to. So looking ahead, what do you think the success of Groq's aggressive pricing and their vertical integration approach could mean for the future of AI model deployment? Could this shake things up substantially?
I think it could push other players in the market to rethink their pricing models and infrastructure. If Groq can consistently offer these kinds of costs and performance, it puts pressure on the big cloud providers and other chip makers to compete. It might even encourage more open source models to be developed and deployed, knowing that there's a powerful and affordable platform to run them on.
That would be fantastic. More accessible models, more competition on price and performance. It could truly democratize access to powerful AI tools and accelerate innovation across the board. It feels like Groq is making a pretty bold move here, kind of throwing down the gauntlet. And it's going to be fascinating to see how the rest of the industry responds to this level of competition on cost and access.
I agree. It's a compelling proposition. Day zero access, industry low costs, built on custom hardware for speed and efficiency. If they can deliver on this consistently and at scale, it could reshape a significant part of the AI inference landscape. And for developers, getting access to cutting-edge models like Llama 4 Maverick with its multilingual capabilities at this price point? That's pretty exciting for building real-world, impactful applications.
Exciting indeed. It really feels like we're at a point where the hardware and the models are pushing each other forward in some surprising ways, creating new possibilities we might not have imagined even a year or two ago.
Couldn't agree more. It's a constantly evolving space. Alright, I think that wraps up our initial look at Groq's Llama 4 launch. It's clear they're aiming to shake things up in the AI inference space. And they've made a splash.
And we'll certainly be keeping a close eye on how it all plays out and what the long-term impact is. Thanks for breaking it down for us, Mark.
Anytime, Jenny. And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. We love hearing your thoughts, so feel free to reach out on social media. We'll catch you next time.